0, and liftoff.
From the studios of Putin on the Ritz, it's the Logical Report with Sergio. And now, a man who got ghosted by a chatbot, Sergio.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Logical Report, where we dissect the absurdities of our time with the precision of a surgeon and the irreverence of a court gesture. I'm your host, Sergio, and let's dive straight into the quagmire of contradictions that is our current administration. President Donald Trump assures us that the Social Security is as safe as a toddler-proof living room. Yet his actions suggest he left the front door wide open and handed the toddler a pair of scissors. Remember when Trump said he had no knowledge of Project 2025? That's the comprehensive plan aiming to overhaul the entire government, including our beloved Social Security. Despite his disavowal, this project aligns suspiciously well within his administrative moves. It's like claiming you've never heard of The Godfather while quoting Vito Corleone in every conversation. Under the guise of efficiency, the administration has proposed slashing the Social Security Administration's workforce by thousands. The Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE, led by none other than Elon Musk, is spearheading these cuts. Musk, who once called Social Security a Ponzi scheme, now has his hands on the levers of power. It's akin to putting a fox in charge of the henhouse and expecting the egg production to increase. These so-called efficiency measures have led to office closures and service disruptions, making it harder for Americans to assess the benefits they've earned. It's a classic case of starve the beast, cripple a program's functionality, and then point to its inefficiency as justification for further cuts. A self-fulfilling prophecy, if there ever was one. Meanwhile, Project 2025's budget proposals include raising the retirement age and restructuring benefits. In plain English, work longer, receive less. It's the political equivalent of moving the goalposts while simultaneously deflating the ball. And let's not forget the broader context. Tax cuts for the wealthy that balloon the deficit, followed by the calls to cut social programs to address the very deficit they exacerbated. It's a tale as old as supply-side economics. To put in layman's terms, your Social Security check is being eyed like a pork chop at a P90X barbecue hosted by Paul Ryan. Protesters are breaking out across America. Protests so intense they're making the Boston Tea Party look like a gluten-free bake sale in Vermont. People are pissed. And not the I didn't get my latte with almond milk pissed. I mean, grandma's retirement fund is being diced up by a guy with a spray tan and the impulse control of a toddler on pixie sticks pissed. And yet Trump supporters are calm because he said he wouldn't touch Social Security. You know, the same Trump who said, I don't know anything about Project 25. Even though it was written by his former staffers backed by his allies as being unrolled like a villain's scroll in the Act 2 of a Marvel movie. I wouldn't touch Social Security, while his budget blueprints show a plan to restructure entitlements, which is DC speak for we're going to shave off the part that keeps grandma alive. Folks, this is the same man who said COVID would disappear like magic. He won the 2020 election and that injecting bleach might be worth a shot, and now we're supposed to take him at his word. That's like trusting the raccoon with your bank pin because he winked at you. Oh, and it's time for rapid fire. Trump says he'll protect Social Security the same way he protected the White House silverware, by stealing it on his way out. Project 2025 is so shady, even Mitch McConnell blinks every time someone says it out loud. Elon Musk's plan is streamlined government, involves firing everyone except a chatbot that replies, "Just work harder, peasant." They say seniors should just work longer. Cool. I guess we'll see Nana pulling night shifts at Taco Bell with a colostomy bag and a Glock. If Project 25 were any more on the nose, it would have a MAGA hat tattooed on his forehead. They're not cutting Social Security, they're modernizing it, which is political speak for we took it out back and we shot it like old Jeller. Social Security is the one socialist program Republicans pretend to love right up until it's time to fund it, then suddenly it's Antifa with paperwork. People trust Trump to protect Social Security the same way you trust a cat to babysit your pet mouse. Project 2025 is so evil, it made Lex Luthor call his lawyer and say, "Can I copyright this?" Conservatives call it entitlement reform. You know what I call it, pushing Nana into the traffic with a PowerPoint. If Trump supporters believe everything he says, I've got a great deal on Trump Steaks, Trump Airlines, Trump University, Trump Magazine, Trump Shuttle, Trump Mortgage, Trump Productions, Trump Ocean Resort in Baja, Trump Plaza, Hotel and Casino, Trump Paradox, Hotel. Well, you get the idea. The GOP plan is like a horror movie. Promise not to cut anything, cut everything, and blame Democrats for the knife. Project 2025's idea of reform is basically Mad Max, but with spreadsheets. Elon Musk's version of efficiency is making sure your grandma can't get her check, but she can subscribe to X Premium for $16 a month. Trump says he's not part of 2025. That's like OJ saying he's just visiting the glove store. They say we shouldn't worry about Social Security. That's what every Ponzi scheme says right before it collapses. The GOP says the SSA needs to be leaner. It's already so. Understand, if you die on hold, they ask you to call back. Trump says he cares about working class Americans, which is why he's working to make sure they work until the hearse arrives. Project 2025 is so unpopular, even Ron DeSantis pretended to sneeze and left the room during the briefing. They say Social Security is going broke. No, it's being robbed. There's a difference between going bankrupt and being mugged by billionaires in red hats. If Trump were Pinocchio, Project 2025 would be sticking out of his nose like a cruise missile. They're not cutting benefits. They're just shrinking them until you can fit them on a sympathy card. Elon Musk is running a government like a startup, which means every department will be laid off, rebranded, and then sued for copyright infringement. If you believe Trump's Social Security promise, you're the kind of person who wires Nigerian princesses because they asked nicely. Trust me, says the man who bankrupted a casino, sold steaks from a magazine, and suggested nuking hurricanes. Let's break this down. Project 2025 isn't a side project. It's a comprehensive roadmap authored by 400 right-wing organizations, many of which orbit Trump like deranged moons with Fox News antennas. It outlines everything from dismantling the Department of Education to purging civil servants and to, yes, restructuring Social Security. So when Trump says he knows nothing about it, that's not denial, that's plausible delusion. He's not just gaslighting you, he's building a gaslight factory, hiring Elon Musk to run it, and powering it with the tears of laid-off climate scientists. And his supporters? They're buying it wholesale. Why? Because Donald Trump doesn't lead a movement. He leads a cult with Merck. When confronted about the contradictions, they say, well, he says he won't do it, and that's good enough for me. Y'all, if your house is on fire and the guy who sold you the flamethrower says, I swear I didn't mean for this to happen, would you still let him babysit your insurance policy? And now it's time for the final shame. Here's the truth. Social Security isn't just a government program. It's a promise, a compact between generations, a recognition that you worked, you paid in, and you deserve dignity. But Donald Trump, surrounded by billionaire-funded think tanks and plastic patriots, is unraveling that promise. Not with honesty, not with courage, but with lies so bold they make Orwell slam his typewriter in disgust. He said he'd protect you. He said he didn't know about Project 2025. He said he had your back. And now he's standing there with the knife. The final shame? It's not that he lied. It's that so many still want to believe him, even after the very ground beneath their future is being sold section by section to the highest bidder. America, wake the hell up. Take the wool off your eyes before they take the roof off your house. Time's up, because they're not just lying, they're betting you'll keep letting them. This is The Logical Report. I am Sir Geo. Good night.